Hello and welcome to Hidden Existence. Hope everyone is doing all right out there tonight. Got a great show tonight. Lots of things to talk about, exciting things to talk about. First, let me introduce my guests. Everyone will know the guy who put Tex in Texas, I think. From Trinity PARA-CRYPTID Research, it's Tex. Welcome, Tex.
Howdy, darling. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, thank you. And of course, everyone knows our Bigfoot Michigan Rob. Rob, thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, thanks for giving me the invite. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Now, you two, well, before we get into you two, what you guys are doing together, I have to say a big thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I've reached 3,000 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. I got up this morning. It wasn't this morning because I didn't get up till after dinner time. But Rob, have you got your volume up?
Oh, that was my phone. Yeah,
I know. But I wanted to just thank everybody who subscribed. It just means a lot to me to get to 3,000. And, I'm quite overwhelmed about it. I have to thank all you guys that come in the live chat because I only do live shows and you guys make the shows for me. You are my support and I get a lot of inspiration from your questions that you ask. You inspire me to ask some of the questions that I do in the interviews. And I don't always acknowledge you all because it can get busy sometimes, but I do read everything and I do see everything and I know what's going on. And it's great to have you here. And also, all the great people that I've met doing the shows from the other channels like Tex, like Rob. And there's too many to mention, but you all know who you are because I talk to you a lot. And of course, the biggest person who's just come in the chat, I need to thank is Kerry, because without Kerry, I really wouldn't be doing this. He just kind of threw me in at the deep end, I think, just invited me on one night to do a show, and it kind of went from there. So thank you, Kerry. Thank you, everyone. And I'm really happy that you're all here tonight. But anyway, let's get back to the show. It's day 4, obviously, of the Bigfoot Odyssey expedition, and there was exciting things happening last night. I know that eyeshine was talked about and screams and maybe some infrasound attack on one of the crew members there. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, the visit from the officer. If you all missed that, go back and watch last night's episode and you'll be able to catch up on everything. But let's go back to our guests. Tex and Rob, you two are doing a really fun show called Breakfast with Brunch. I'm sorry. I know. Look, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I've been doing this 4 nights on the road. This is where we've got to at the moment.
Oh, no.
I'm happy to be here, but it's getting later and later each time. And it's 1 o'clock now. The clocks have changed this morning for us. Well, it's now Monday, but anyway, Brunch with Bigfoot, which is a great show. I really enjoy it. I needed to ask you, who's been your favourite guest on there?
It was for me. It was this little lady from the UK.
Oh, right.
And she don't have a whole lot of fans, but she's an all right girl.
That's the right answer because this hour could take a long time if I stop talking to you.
This ain't my first rodeo, girl.
In fact, I want to say that guest was so awesome that 2 weeks later we had to have her co-host with me when you were out fishing. That's how impressed I was with this young lady.
That's right. I really enjoyed that as well. We had Brent on, didn't we, from Paranormal Portal?
That was a good one.
It was. I really enjoyed that. But how come you two guys got together doing that?
Rob, you want to take this one?
How me and Tex got the show formulated? Well, I tell you, I was going to branch off and do my own show. since, I had an experience, an encounter 2.5 years ago, and I just sold my business and I was kind of looking for something to do. And me and Tex last year, maybe almost closer to over a year and a half ago, I was on Tex's show doing my encounter, and kind of hit it off after that. We would talk once in a while and about different things. And so when I had approached Tex about if he could help me out with a show, we got to talking, and then I don't know, either I came up with it or Tex did. It doesn't matter who, but we're about doing a show together. We would just run it off Trinity PARA-CRYPTID Research and do an afternoon show to hit the afternoon viewers and get my feet wet a little bit. And I think, then history was made, I guess, so to speak, for now to start out. So we've been doing real well, and I'm glad we made that decision. So, and again, once again, thanks for having me aboard, Tex. I think, I think the numbers are coming in pretty good so far. So I appreciate it.
Well, honestly, I'd like to say that I did it because I like you and, you're a good dude and, blah, 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 blah. I just didn't want the competition.
Yeah, okay.
But, no,
I thought there was something behind that. Yeah. You don't want to steal the time slot. Right. Okay. So that's cool.
It was pretty much like he said. I mean, we've been talking for a while and we clicked, and it was just, he got talking about, he wanted my advice for starting a show and stuff. And it's just like, well, why don't you come over and do something with us and get used to doing what you want to do. And then you can use us as a launching pad, and, you'll get some people with you when you go, so that's what it's all about. I mean, helping each other. That's, Kerry helped me, you helped me, Daniela, I mean, What the Paranormal, big help with me, Lady in the Woods. That's what's great about what we're all trying to do with this community. We're all trying to bring it together because it's all been, I mean, they're all over the place. We're all over the place for a while. And then people are still are. There's a bit of a separation, but I think we're bringing open-minded people together, just because one person thinks they're, here we go, Bigfoot, just because somebody thinks Bigfoot's just a dumb animal and the other person thinks that, they're spiritual and they walk through trees, doesn't mean they can't have a conversation. In fact, they need to have that conversation. You can respectfully disagree with anybody. And I think that's what we're all trying to do.
Yeah. I think over the last, 18 months, so things have changed for me personally as well. Watching it, coming into it maybe 2 years before, just watching videos, and it's only like the comments, isn't it, that you pick up on YouTube. If you're not in it, on the other side of it, that's all you get is what's picked up in the groups on Facebook, the way people talk. I mean, it's still going on, but seems to be a really solid set of people and community now that are much friendlier, much open to discussion, like you say, open-minded, accepting, and it's grown, and it's taken all of us. We've all been contributing to it in our own way over the last couple of years, I think, and it's really showing. To me, it does really show. I see it in the way people are in the chat, and the way the guests are, and the way we've got to know people a little bit more, and kind of explored things a little bit more without just taking things at face value, being able to talk to people and see a little bit more about what's going on. So that's what you kind of do on the Brunch with Bigfoot, is you get to know your guests a little bit more, and that gives you a bit more kind of credibility in a way, maybe, or the people that you're interviewing. You can probe a little bit and see what they're about and what their agenda is, and why they're putting stuff out, because some of them are just making money for nothing. Whereas there's a lot of people going to a lot of effort to bring awareness and hopefully some sort of education, even though there's no experts out there. We're all just trying to at least share good stuff rather than the rubbish that's out there, and trying to keep some sort of like, you know, grip on this whole subject, because it's wild, isn't it? It has been. There's a lot to this subject, and I don't know, you know, I like what I'm seeing at the moment, the kind of changing mindset and the way things are going. So yeah, it's good.
You know, with all the way I kind of envision it too, with all the different channels, everybody kind of knows each other or knew each other or became acquainted with each other. It's kind of like I equate it to like a Major League Baseball team in their minor league system. They got a pipeline of all these channels, but we're all branching off of each other, right? You know so and so, you know so and so, and everybody's recommending. You got this pool of talent being developed, which all like mine, because no one's here just we're here for the facts, not the facts. Just you know, get as much evidence as possible and just be truthful. Let people talk, tell their experiences, and just know that we're here and we're genuine people, and we'll listen to anybody and we'll say, you know, I believe what you're saying, and let's just find out what these things are. And so I think that, and with the base of people that follow all the channels, that's for the most part, 99% of them are great and they're spot on. So I think that drives everybody to keep putting out good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And also that kind of support for people in the chat who maybe, you know, not coming on the shows, but sit there and listen to other people who've had experiences, and they can relate a little bit more and maybe feel, you know, at ease that it's not just them experiencing all the crazy stuff, that, you know, there is other folk out there. So it's all good. Someone else should mention is Jason, who should be here tonight. Normally, it's for me. It's no, you know, come on, Tex, stop it. He's great, and I'm missing him tonight actually, because normally I do Anything Goes with Jason on a Sunday night. Obviously, because of the expedition, it's just a little bit different this week. But he actually couldn't make it anyway, so you know, typical. But he's great as well, isn't he? To have. On both our channels, because he's of course does the shows with you. Is it the Front Porch he does with you?
Yeah, it's the Front Porch he does with me, and that's on Monday nights. And you know, honestly, me and Jason, we met. Oh, geez, wow.
Oh, look!
Yeah,
Sky Forest Nature Meditation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, wow.
You know, me and Jason actually met at a Bigfoot conference. And in fact, me and you were talking earlier, and I said it's when I met Kerry. And it's the same time. I met a bunch of people, and me and Jason, we just kind of clicked. We were like-minded and everything. And I had him on as a guest, and then we started talking back and forth. And I said, hey, what do you know? I popped the question, got down on one knee, popped the question. And he said yes. So we've been pretty much doing it to hit since.
Oh, he's so easy, isn't he? Doesn't take much. But yeah,
he's a good dude. Don't tell him I said so.
No, he probably won't be watching this anyway. But you're right, Kerry. He does. He thinks outside the box, and he had an interesting experience as well. So he's always got a lot to talk about. Rob, I know you've had an encounter, and I should have asked you this before the show, but would you share a little bit with us about what happened? Because I've never heard it. I have to admit.
I can give a condensed version, I suppose, because it would probably take an hour to go.
But, however long you want to. But if you don't mind, I should have asked you before, but I don't.
No, I don't mind.
People are feeling generous tonight.
Patrick, thank you. You're a gentleman. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that.
So yeah, sure. I just saw my encounter happened in June of 2018. It was in fact June 15th, middle of June, and my girlfriend at the time, Cindy, and we went to Cadillac, Michigan, actually Lake Cadillac to be more specific. We just went out there to actually go fishing. I had been out there once years prior, but my girlfriend had not. So we went out there and I rented a fishing boat, and so we just set for north of where we live and got out on the water. On that day about 10 or 11. Did a little fishing on the lake. There's like two lakes. There's Lake Cadillac, then like a canal, which I now call it. Now I find out they call it the canal. I called it a waterway earlier, back when this encounter happened. They cut through to another lake called Lake Mitchell. Now, Lake Mitchell is a little bit smaller than Lake Cadillac, but it's a little more remote. I mean, Lake Cadillac itself is built up with homes, and there's a couple mom and pop shores that surround it, and there's an interstate that wraps around it. Lake Cadillac, when you travel over to Lake Mitchell, it's less populated. Now, don't get me wrong, there are houses and things of that nature, but where I took the boat down to was like the southwest corner. It was like in a bay, and there wasn't any houses or anything around there. So it's a little more remote, a little more dense, thick. Looking back into the forest or the trees, because it backs up to the national park out there. And so we're about 90 feet from shore, and my girlfriend had mentioned to me that someone was throwing rocks at the boat from the shoreline. And I'm like, what now? There's probably some fish jumping around. So I kind of dismiss that, and I go about putting my lure on my fishing line, and boom, again, Rob, someone's throwing rocks at the boat. And I look, and I said, you see anybody on shore? Because now we're looking at shore. I see nobody. She says, no, but she said she happened to see a rock. So anyway, I'm like, no, now I'm kind of like, just take it easy. Let's just enjoy the rest of this day here. So it just so happens I look up in the air, and I see a rock falling from the sky. I mean, I see this object falling from the sky. And it's a rock, and it's like 12 feet in front of the boat. And I look up, gaze ashore, and I see this creature standing there, 8-9 feet tall, reddish brown hair, looked like a human. The face was human, but it looked like a person with Down syndrome, and it had like grayish, wrinkled features on the front and his face. His chest was light hair, but you could see like a gray through there, and he's staring at us, and I'm just staring at this thing. What in the hell is this thing? And then he raises its arms parallel, like an airplane, opens its mouth, and his mouth drops open like the Pac-Man. It was just like it was a golf ball. It just opened from ear to ear. The whole mouth dropped. I seen two longer teeth. Not the chiclet that everyone describes Bigfoot to me, but it was kind of a longer. I don't want to call it a fang either. And chewing scissors coming up, and lets out a screech, a roar, a yell. It was blood curdling. It was thunderous and booming. Like you have your headphones on, if you plug it in, it's on loud, and you get that. I mean, that's how intense it was. And this roar, it seems like a wake proceeded toward the boat. And it's what it seemed like to me, and it hit the boat. My girlfriend now, and I'm staring at this thing. She falls off the back of the boat into the water.
Oh, God.
I know that she is now. I know this happens, but now I try to. I'm straight ahead, and I can't move. I know she fell off, and my body's frozen for like a couple seconds. I can't even move my body to get her, like I was frozen, paralyzed. But then I just shook my head. I snapped out of it, and at this time too, it's like my eyes saw it like in a filter. Not like how we normally see. It seemed like there was like a filter on like a camera. So I snap out of it. I get to the back of the boat. I pull her in the boat and get her in. We look I get her inside the boat. Now this is where I'm most scared is. I look towards shore. This thing is gone. I cannot see it. She is freaking out. I'm still in a daze of fog, and I just remember scooting out of there, and we got back, jettisoned across the lake, and docked the boat, got out. We found the closest restaurant / bar that we could get into. Got in the corner of the bar and had a drink. And she goes, "What the hell do you think that was?" And I said, "I think we saw Bigfoot." And she was, "So do I." And then we made no reports, nothing like that. We were just, it ruined the weekend, really. I mean, it sounds like it'd be cool to see. That wasn't a cool experience at all. I thought she was going to drown, didn't know where it was. I mean, and it was just, I was really scared the way my body felt so crazy. And so I just wanted to get home. We took off out of there. And that's how I started that's what started me on my journey. And then I really was bummed out because 2 months after this encounter, my girlfriend had passed away.
Wow.
Which was just terrible timing. And at this time, I'm blaming it on Bigfoot. Like that, I thought, like, as I learned later, perhaps it was infrasound. As I started investigating, I'm learning all about Bigfoot, right? And I'm thinking, but I know that didn't kill her. I mean, I thought that 2.5 years ago. I don't think that today, but back then I certainly did. And I wanted to go back out and kill him. But I didn't. So obviously go back. I haven't been back to look for it. And I'm not scared of it today, but this is not people have their encounters. Some people have good encounters. Some people have bad. Unfortunately, mine wasn't very good. And that's
a terrifying. And your girlfriend must have been terrified falling in the water.
Yeah.
And what a lot to deal with.
This is like at this time when she fell in. It's high noon too. I mean, it was a warm day, and she was just frozen Of course, she fell in the water, and it wasn't exactly. But you're talking June. It wasn't that cold. Her whole body temperature just dropped. She was just like an ice cube, and I couldn't even get her warm with a blanket. And till we got into that, she's not even a drinker, and I suggested get a shot of whiskey. I'll warm you right up, and that did the trick. And yeah, she was terrified. I was petrified. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll never forget that day. That's I swear.
Yeah, that's an intense encounter. I didn't realize how intense that was. That well, we'll come back to it because we've got Mr. Kerry Arnold all the way in Florida. How you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all doing?
You're doing good. I'm going to get you on the big screen because people like it when I do this. Yeah. Sorry.
Congratulations on 3,000, Daniela. That's,
Thank you.
Incredible.
I know. I'm really blown away with it. It's
pretty quick
amazing.
too.
I think so.
Text talking earlier. I was listening. That everyone helps each other in this, and that's kind of the whole point. I think for such a long time, so many people were just against each other. It was so secretive, and if you knew something, or a tactic that might work, you weren't really, you didn't want anybody else to know your techniques and all that. And I think to me, that's counterintuitive. That's someone in it for themselves. If you're actually in this for the subject, if you find out something that works, you want everybody to know it. That should be the way you feel about it anyway. To me, that brings more people into the subject. A rising tide raises all ships. We all benefit from getting more people interested in the subject. That's the whole point of us even attempting this, is to get more people convinced that these creatures are out there. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're at the halfway point of our trip, and it's just, we've got a ton of stuff. It's going to be a great story. So far, I'm not going to say we got anything.
Mm-hmm.
We've done. We got the fake campsite up right now with cameras going. We're about to leave here in a little bit. Go put out some night vision, some thermal there, with the baby crying. That's all set up. Been going most of the day since about 1 today. But I'll say this: you are going to get to see actual Bigfoot in the future.
Oh.
I will say that.
Okay.
I'm not saying we got anything good, epic, not saying anything like that yet. Just saying that you are going to get to see actual Sasquatch in the film. So
look, we've always said it's about the journey of this whole process,
right.
and so anything's a bonus after you actually getting there and experimenting and doing what you're doing. Everything else is a bonus on top of that. You know,
we've learned a lot. I've learned a ton. I think a lot of these guys have too, especially from each other. I think that, to me, that's what's important, is that we're trying new techniques, new things that we don't think anyone else has really tried or hasn't showed us anyway. None of us have heard of. We're just trying to think up new stuff and trying it. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, we scrap it and move on. But that's kind of the point of this too, is to try to nail down a solid way to get these creatures. Mark Zaskey and Melanie Zaskey have been in this area for the last 6 years and have gotten some absolutely incredible images. What they're doing is working. They just haven't had the resources that we have here to get, that epic shot that is really going to, help the subject. And it just can't be an individual effort. It has to be a lot of people coming together to do this and get this done. Individuals are just not getting it done. Not that I'm not saying that it can't happen. I mean, absolutely it can. But to me, it's more important to tell who these people are and show the journey, like you said, than it is to put a video of a Sasquatch out there for everyone to pick apart. If you show the people that have done this, who they are, their integrity, the way they carry themselves beyond film, is what's going to lend credibility to it. The truth will stand the test of time. We say that every time, and it absolutely does. You can't pick apart actuality. Reality is subjective. It's the way we see things. What's actually there, you can't touch, because it is what it is. Mosquito got my little.
All right. Hey, Kerry, I got a question for you.
Yeah, Tex has got some questions.
I noticed that we got a real bright moon. I don't know if y'all are clouded over down there or what, but we got a real bright moon here. And I was wondering if that, because I've always, for some reason, the activity when I go out, if it's a real bright moon, I don't have as much.
It's affecting us. Absolutely, I believe. I'm actually filming the moonrise right now. I'm going to put it on a time lapse in the film because it is full and it's pretty cool coming up over these palm trees and oaks and pines down here. So it's a pretty even mix. Got some good drone footage today. But you're right. I think the moonlight pushes them back into the dark, the deep canopies, and it just makes it more dangerous when you have to go into those places. We've got some things on thermal at a distance, but by the time guys get to it, it's out of there. So we're having to work up different strategies for when we catch these things on how to get to them. So we're gonna try some of those tonight. We're going out to a really, really active place. It's a deep, dark place in the bright sunshine. So the moon, I don't think, is going to affect this place much. I think that's probably, we think that's where a lot of them are going to be right now. But I think you're right about the moon. Absolutely. They don't know what we can and can't see, I would assume. If they can see much better at the moon, like why wouldn't they think we could?
Right. Yeah, because I don't think they're that smart.
Smart enough to stay away from us. So
yeah, they are that. Has the if I remember, y'all do have a canine with you, right?
Yeah, Chad brought his dog. Russell has his dogs. Mogollon Monster. He's got his 2 dogs, but they're staying inside the little pop-up he's got. But they every morning at about 3:30, they just go nuts right outside, and we got a little strategy worked up for that also. So we're trying not. No one's really let on that there's anything out there yet, just so we're not keying in on them, and hopefully we're gonna try it early this morning. But the guys just came in. They cast another track, which is why they were late coming in. And the other team's getting ready, which I'm gonna be going out with as soon as I leave here.
3 tracks I've got so far?
Found 3. Second one we've cast. I haven't
okay.
got a good look at it yet. But that's where they just came back from. Pretty active area. A lot of sightings in that place. Sorry.
Got a few. Got a few questions for you. How are Dave and Lynn doing?
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay.
Now, Lynn just got a little too hot that first day. We all did. It was hot out there. I think Barry was having some stomach issues, some cramping. Lynn's tough. She is tough. It's not a wonder that she beat cancer at all.
Yeah, should be.
And David is much. It was kind of an in the moment thing. I don't know about infrasound, but we are getting some EMF spikes out here. 28 milligauss is pretty high for being next to high power lines. 28 is high.
Right.
So and we got some spikes like that. So I think I'm leaning more toward it being high levels of EMF. Who knows? FWC could be using EMF to control these things. Who knows?
That's true.
It's just it's out here. There's something going on with the EMF, and David was feeling something the other night that was just had him zoned out. I got a really good interview with him on it. We're gonna do some interviews tonight in night vision, so a little added dynamic.
You think it's possible? You think it's possible you might have something else out there besides these critters?
I don't know. I have enough trouble worrying about Sasquatch to even remotely think about anything else. If I see it, I'll tell you guys I see it. I haven't seen anything yet. Myself, I haven't seen anything yet. But my face is in the camera when filming these guys, so
you're not looking.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah. Before I ask the next question, I've got 491 in the chat. Can I get 491 likes? That would be amazing.
491 thumbs up would be fantastic. For those of you that are hooked up with that, on the bottom right corner of your screen is a $sign, and I think it would be fantastic to start a little trend here. I know Patrick Noble and someone else, I can't remember who it was, put some super chats in there.
Mike, and Colette, and I'm sorry I can't remember them all, but I appreciate them all. The nature and the meditation one.
It makes a huge difference.
The likes just help the channel. Really
the likes definitely help the channel and the views. It definitely does help. But those things like that, the super chats and the stickers, it helps tremendously.
Thank you very much.
I don't know what to say about it. We still have people helping us out. Joyce Eicher, and I said Michael last night. It's Matthew Brecker.
Okay.
Helped and pitched in for us on this, and it's helped tremendously just with gas and not asking anybody for anything. So don't look at it that way. So don't.
No,
that's not the reason I said. I just want to thank those two definitely for the help they've provided all of us. That's what we needed, is someone to help us do this. And just last year, $10,200 we raised getting equipment, and then everything that was put in this year to get it. I'm a little disappointed in the thermal drone. It works and it's good and clear. The problem is it's fixed. It's in a fixed position.
Right.
So I can't move the camera up and down.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to it's still a valuable tool for us. It's just having to.
Well, for the next expedition, you'll know, won't you?
Yeah. Actually, I'm probably going to get another one. We'll probably do a giveaway and give this drone away, and get one that's actually, because I went the cheap route and got an expensive thermal and a decent drone instead of getting the $10,000 drone that I probably should have gotten. I got the $6,000 setup that I had put together, and I just wasn't thinking about the camera being fixed, being a real issue, but it is. But I got some excellent drone footage out in here. That's what's going to be part of the intros for all the episodes. We just got a ton of stuff to show.
Excellent.
It's going to be a lot, and we're probably going to do it again in the fall.
All right. Oh, cool.
Well, Kerry, I got to tell you, brother, when we first met a few years ago, you've done a complete 180. I mean, you would not even really step in the woods. And I got to tell you, man, I'm proud of you. I really am.
Thanks.
And I am really sorry that I couldn't make it. I wish I was there with you, brother.
Yeah, I wish you could have made it too, man. It would have been another added element that we needed. But I'm kind of proud of myself. I went out yesterday and changed out the parabolic by myself.
I know.
About 1,000 yards into the woods. Put my gun on to do it. A little false sense of security.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even if you didn't have these critters around you, you better be packing anyway down there in that area.
Yeah, the hogs, they will just mess you up so bad. They'll run by and hook you, and while you're in the air, they'll still be hooking you. They're that bad. Yeah, they'll knock you down, turn around, and let you open. A 400-pound hog, you just can't stop. So we are mindful of that. We're trying to use our thermals best we can for that. Like I said, we've got some good thermal hits on some things out here. We know they're not hogs. When we got last night, I'll say about 200 yards out, that was taller than the grass. The grass is 3 feet tall. So, and it was, you'll see it. You'll see it. Yeah. Like I said, I don't want to give a ton of stuff away, but it's pretty easy to identify. We have several things like that. And like I said, not saying we got anything epic, anything like that to try to get anybody overly excited, but you guys are going to get to see Sasquatch in this film.
Excellent. Look, sorry, but whoa, this is like
oh wow,
amazing. Squatch Wizard, Adirondacks. Thank you so much. That's incredible. That's huge. Wasn't expecting that at all. What a crazy night. Someone, I think it's Mark. What's this? I'm sorry if I've lost it. And I've been looking at the question now, completely forgot what it was. The Zag Mutz, begins with Z. Are you using?
Oh no, I can't see the chat.
Who's Jedi Squatch? Is it Mark?
Mark Kinchel.
Yeah, so he's asking if you've used the something beginning with Z, and I've just been looking at it, and give me 1 second. It's gone. It was it's too far up. So sorry, Mark. If you put it again in the chat, I'll ask him if.
I don't know what Z is.
Zagmont. Sigmont. Have I completely got saying it wrong? I must be.
We've used everything in the arsenal up to this point.
Must be sounding like a nutter at the moment, trying to say this thing. I've probably got it completely wrong as well.
You guys see my plate? I just got through eating.
Right. Nice. So Pilar Sutton said, Kerry, listen to your parabolic mic so you know where to investigate.
What was that?
Sorry, Kerry, are you listening to your parabolic so that you know where to investigate?
I'm not, but someone is.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone's carrying the parabolic with a Zoom H4n recorder. It's XLR connections. It's the highest quality that you're going to get sound. So it's and the settings that we have it on, we're recording in wave. So everything that is within hearing distance of the ears plus 50, 60 yards we're picking up.
Zagnut bars is what they were talking about.
Oh, Zagnut bars.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's what.
No, I think the crew's eating those.
Oh, is that what they are? I thought it was some equipment or something technical, but it's some chocolate bar, is it?
I put some apples out. I haven't even thought about it. There's probably about 5 left over there, so I'll go ahead and take a couple and use those at the fake campsite. We went and set that up, and what I'm going to do is I set the camera up and showed us putting everything together, and I'll just do it in fast motion when you guys see it, us putting it up, and whatever results we get from it. Got the parabolics. We've got palm fronds out. We hid everything best we could. Got some Spanish moss and put all over everything. Taped up all the lights where you couldn't see any of that. We're about to leave as soon as I get off here, and we're going to go set out thermal at the fake campsite and replay. What we've got is baby crying for 2 minutes and then 2 minutes of silence. Baby crying 2 minutes, 2 minutes of silence. Baby crying 3 minutes, then 3 minutes of silence. 2 minutes, 2 minutes of silence, and it's on a loop. So the silence is where we're hoping to pick up whatever maybe coming toward or making some kind of sound near with the parabolic, and then the night vision or the thermal we've got facing out the door of the tent, and then we've got 2 static cameras facing in other directions. We're covering what I feel like would be the direction they're going to come from. And if they come from another direction, they're definitely going to leave tracks. So
you're going to get something.
I don't think they're going to come from the open. I think they're going to come in from the thickest side. So that's where I got the cameras pointing. But I may be wrong. We're just trying things that we think will work, you know. So we are out here doing it. We're on the couch. We're out here doing it.
Yeah. Team Egan. Kerry, you were doing it, baby.
I know, Tim. Ain't that something? Tim's been with us since the very beginning. He's like one of our very first subscribers. And,
he's good support.
Has always been a huge supporter. And I'm a fan of Tim Egan, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. John, you'll have to listen back to last night's show if you want to know what the officer said. But you've had no other visits, I take it. It's all been.
No, I talked to him earlier, and I was over at the dumpster. I was putting some trash in the dumpster, and he was over there throwing something away. And same guy, and he just, you know, we had our little cordial hellos. He said, "Oh, y'all get anything?" Nope. Like I'm gonna tell him anyway. No, man, no luck. We haven't seen anything. Haven't heard anything. So. They're probably watching this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if y'all ran across a couple extra cameras out there.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something going on out here with I think it's EMF. Just how I feel about it. EMF does these things to people, makes them hear voices, makes you feel like you're being watched, disorients you, will make you lose time. It explains a lot of the woo. The guys saw an orb going through the trees last night.
Someone asked earlier about orbs, if you've seen anything like that.
Yeah, and pretty sure Josh got a really good shot of it.
Oh,
so, cool. Yeah, so I'm anxious to see it myself.
And of course,
that may explain.
Brad saw one going across the top of the trees that they got on film too. So I said it was just acting weird. That
may explain your EMF thing. Then.
Yeah, I don't know what the orbs are. If it has anything to do with Sasquatch at all, maybe it does. I haven't seen anything that I could connect the two. I haven't seen an orb myself, not here anyway.
Yeah. And what's great is if you've been filming so much that you're not even looking at, who knows what you've been picking up.
Yeah, we have no idea what else we've gotten.
Yeah, the same with the audio.
Really good.
It's exciting.
Yeah, and we got Martin Newbill. He's taking all the audio with him, you know. He does voice analysis, so you can tell the difference in an animal making a sound and something mimicking that sound. The waveform looks completely different. So that's why he's taking the audio, and Mark Zaskey's going to be taking some of the video to help out. Did Mark
Newbill find a track today? A print?
No, that the other team found it.
Right. Okay. I did see something slip out. Not slip out, but
I haven't really gotten a debrief out of there. They just got back a little while ago, and I was just here waiting for the show to start and hanging out in chat until I said I would show on up. But we're getting ready to go out. We're gonna go set out that thermal, and where everybody gets done eating and ready, and we're gonna head out here in just a few minutes.
Cool. Well, I just have to stop and say a big thank you to Robin. That's incredible.
Wow.
Like, I'm just speechless, which is unusual for me. That's a biggie. That is a real biggie. Robin, thank you so much.
People
that is going to be some after party.
That's heavy.
Enigma as well, thank you so much. And Wendy and Angie.
McDonald.
Wendy McDonald, yeah. And Angie, thank you.
You guys are awesome.
Wow. And nobody swore tonight. I didn't even need to get the swear jar out to raise that. This was just given out of the goodness of people's heart. I mean, I'm really blown away with all that. That's incredible. Look, we need to let you go, do we?
Yeah, I'm on a run.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming in.
I can see you guys now. Cool.
I just want to say from me and Rob, y'all are welcome for all the donations. I mean, you know, we worked hard for that for y'all.
Yeah.
It was just it was our presence. Hey, Kerry, man, before you go, I had a quick question. You're are you feeling at base camp that you're being watched, or something's creepy around base camp, or is that more so when you guys are out in the woods?
Absolutely. Around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, especially, and the dogs light up. Chad was out here last night, 10:30, filmed some stuff on thermal, that really big thermal hit. So I think they're moving around the edge of this clearing out here, watching us. And whenever it quiets down, the generators are off, and everybody's either out, and whoever's here is sleeping. I think they're creeping up here, without a doubt. We got the track right there, prove it. 100 yards away from here. And another one right up the hill was the same.
Nice.
So,
yeah. And what everyone's got to remember is whatever Kerry's keeping from us, there's obviously more.
There's quite a bit more.
Yeah. Well, maybe we might be able to squeeze a little bit more out of you before the expedition ends, but we're going to catch up with you again tomorrow night, same place, same time.
Yes, ma'am. We'll be here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, stay safe and say hi to everyone. And say hi to Jeff. I hope he's doing all right.
Yeah. Everybody's fine. These guys are incredible. All of them.
Great. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
Proud of y'all guys, man.
Look forward to talking to you tomorrow night.
All right. See you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye. Well, that was great. That was good. They've obviously caught some stuff, haven't they? And they're not going to share it all, but they've shared enough. And just thanks again to everyone who's donated tonight. That's incredible.
That's
fantastic.
I've never seen that before. And there's 546 people in the chat, which is a little bit crazy. You know, It's brilliant. It's fantastic. But there's so many people. I can't keep up tonight. Actually, I can't keep up with everything. But thank you guys. Rob? Let's go back to, because we kind of left at a crucial point.
It's quite all right. This is
I know.
Hours.
But thank you for sharing that. And that must have been, I'm sorry for the loss of your girlfriend. That, dealing with what you saw, and then that must have been a crazy time for you. And I can understand 100% why I haven't heard it. And, it's difficult to tell these and hear it, hear how you're saying it, because that must have been a very hard time for you.
Yeah, it was. And, one thing I did omit too from, as I try to give you my condensed version, I mentioned how the Sasquatch looked like a Down syndrome person. Then I mentioned it opened his mouth and screeched. Well, the thing that I neglected to say, which, again, I was in haste, was this thing's face totally turned from a human into a demonic looking thing, is what I always try to get across too. And that's why I was forever wondering what the hell this creature is, because it went from humanistic to, as I described it, a demon. And with that mouth, you could literally drop a bowling ball in it. It was so, that's what, then I was paralyzed, like I said. And I always wanted to, so I've heard many stories quite like mine, put it to you that way. I still stammer when I talk about it, because I can just feel right now nerves tingling through my body, and it's been 2.5 years. So, but yeah, it's something else. I'll never forget it. Never forget it.
It's not a long time, really, is it? It's not a long time, really, in the grand scheme of things,
right?
To deal with something like that. Did you ever go back at all? At some point?
Close by, but not looking for it. I was back to Cadillac in the area, but I didn't venture into the actual area. Now I've gotten people, it's funny, I've gotten emails from people that have seen it on the channel. When I first put this out, it was just, I had Bigfoot Michigan Rob channel was first on, then I went on West German's channel. And then right after that, I started getting some emails from people that live in Cadillac, Michigan, sending me maps. And one guy went back to my actual area and showed me this real cool map. I don't know if I sent that to you, text or not, on a video, but where there was wrecked boats in that area. Because in my interview, I really give a nice description of how to get to the location, and this guy found it and found channels back in the Cove area on Lake Mitchell, off of Mitchell's Creek. And this Mitchell's Creek is just a reservoir of water, runs through the whole national forest. So, I mean, they're anywhere around there. But he saw wreckage of boats that looked like they've been left there for months, years. Just a lot of weird looking things. And that was right in the area that I had the encounter. So, personally, I haven't done it. I will get back there one day. I'm not in any hurry. As long as people keep sending me emails, that's cool, and little videos. So, for right now, I don't. Something different I want to investigate.
Yeah. Well, that's fair enough, isn't it? What about you, Tex? When you had I mean, I know you've had a few encounters, but did you go back? Was there a time period? Did you not go back to some of those areas, or?
Well, the only one that affected me like that was my first one when I was 16, and of course that was the Dog Man. And it took me about 6 months to even go very far away from the house, much less back in the brush. But the other stuff, I think, I don't know. I think I've dealt with it, and I'm one of these guys that I'm not going to go out looking for something, and then when I run into it, go run away. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, and I do 90% of my research alone at night, and I've been spooked, but I've only had one time where I felt like it was a dark presence, and or heavy, but it only lasted about 30 minutes to an hour, and then it lifted. But it's the cemetery I go to. There's no telling what I'll run into. I mean, the audio we got on the channel from that cemetery is just crazy. You know, you got growls all around me. You got voices and whispers and knocks and whoops, and you know, it's all kinds of stuff. You know, I've gotten rocks thrown at me. I've had Clay Campbell with me, which is out there on the expedition, and he actually got rocks thrown at him and hit him in his hammock. So, I mean, we've had some good experiences out there. And of course, I had my daylight sighting of a squatch out there, and you know, and I've gotten. They come up to the camp. You know, you can hear them come up to the camp. The time before last, when me and Jason and Bob and Randy was out there, I'm sorry, we had something come up. We don't know what it is, but one camera out of 4 or 5 we had glitched, and it glitched at the same time when we were having some other activity going on. And it took fine pictures and video before and fine pictures and video after. But at that point in time, it glitched, you know? So, but to answer your question now, no, I go, if I have an encounter, I go right back to it.
Yeah.
You know, because.
Talking about audio, where was that audio you were just playing before the show?
That was sent to me by somebody else, and I have that permission to play it.
Are we right to hear it? That'd be great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll play it.
This is interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy. Ready?
Yeah. Has anyone heard anything like that? That's pretty wild, isn't it?
Well, I know Rob's heard something. What the creature that screamed at him was almost identical to that. So Rob's one of the very few people, and you know what? You go over his encounter, and if you really have to think about it, because Rob is one of the very few people that's actually seen a Bigfoot make a noise. You know, we either get audio or we see the creature. Not very many people get to see them scream at you. And so that's a lot of verification on this audio, because Rob said that audio was almost exactly what he heard. And I know it's hard for him to hear it, and I didn't mean to do that to him tonight, but just to see the raw emotion, it's, you know.
Yeah. I mean, Kerry would be interesting to let Kerry hear it, because he's quite a similar encounter in ways, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is. And once again, I'm sorry, Rob. I didn't mean to spring that on you, bro.
That's okay.
But I'm not going to say whose audio it is. I'm not going to say where it came from. It came out of Oklahoma, not far from where my research area is. So I've been screamed at, but it wasn't like that. It was when we got screamed at down there, it was higher pitched, it was longer, and it wasn't as much as a roar as it was a scream. Almost banshee-like is the way I describe it. So,
right. Yeah. I think Kerry's was a scream, wasn't it? Or a wah, something like that.
Right. The way he described it, it kind of went. It kind of went. He said almost like a whip at the end, and it was like a wah, you know, or something like that, or but it was deeper. It was more like a whoa, you know. So, but I can't do it justice. I mean, I just can't. But I know just him describing it. The first time I ever heard him describe it sent chills down my spine because one of what I experienced, and you know, it's just you can't do them. I don't care who you are. You can go out there and do calls all night long. You just cannot do these things justice.
Right.
Right. Pilar Sutton, Daniela, please explain woo in Bigfooting. Well, there's two sides, isn't there? I mean, should we go into it? I mean, you know, people will need to know, don't they?
Well,
if you're new to the subject.
Well, you know what most people consider the woo, okay? And I really hate that term. I really, really do. But what we tend to think of as the woo is the paranormal, spiritual, you know, extra dimensional or interdimensional side of it. You know, that's kind of where the woo, what everybody calls the woo, comes in. What we're looking at right now is, are we putting a whole lot of different phenomenon under the Bigfoot umbrella? And it's so hard because it's like Kerry when you know they're getting high EMF readings and they're seeing orbs, and there's Bigfoot in the area. I get the same thing. You know, I get different body voices, and I've seen orbs and you know, things walk out of the shadows, and it's just. But I've seen the physical creatures too, and it's just there's so much involved in it, and that's
raising your audio there a little bit. Your audio's just a little bit. Your audio just went a little bit weird there.
Oh, okay. That's why I was saying earlier, it's so important that all of us have an open mind, you know, and be able to discuss things, you know, like the mind speak and that woo side of it, with respect, because and what I tell people all the time, just because you have, for lack of a better term, a mundane Bigfoot encounter, you know, like he just runs across the road in front of you at night, whatever. Just because that's all it doesn't have to be this big elaborate encounter for any of y'all to tell any of us about it, because we're going to learn a lot, because if we keep seeing this behavior and this one behavior and this one behavior, that tells us a lot about the species. And especially if we see the same behavior from different areas, okay, well, we see it, that's a common denominator, you know. And I don't think they all behave the same. Like somebody said earlier in the chat, what about the aggressive ones down in the Sam Houston area? Those are reported to be ornerier than the ones that are up in the Northwest. The Southern Oklahoma has reports of aggressive encounters and aggressive Bigfoot, but not all of them. You know, I haven't, but I tend to think things are not aggressive that a lot of people think are, because I think the bluff charging, the growling, if they're using infrasound, even the rock throwing, all that kind of stuff is really, it's not aggressive behavior by the creature. It's
interpreted as that by the person on the other end.
You're scared. But I think it's a way of these critters trying to keep the encounter from getting aggressive. You know, it's like, hey, leave me alone. But you got to be. I think people should. I'm not one to talk, but people should heed those hints.
If it was aggressive, those rocks would be hitting you.
And
or
absolutely.
Or bigger, or too close for comfort.
Right.
Maybe some of them do, but maybe that is the message is go away, and it could be go away because I'm scared rather than I'm aggressive, because most animals are frightened when they start showing the teeth. It's out of fear most of the time, not because they're just aggressive animals. So.
Right. I think it's more of a defensive posture than it is an aggressive posture.
Yeah, but I can absolutely understand people in that moment feeling that thing was going to kill him, could have killed them.
Yeah.
The worst could have happened, and that is absolutely, understandable. But there is another side to it where maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was as frightened as you were and was just trying to say, go away, don't come any closer.
I mean, I've been 20 to 30 feet from a dog land, and I've been a whole lot closer to these critters, and they haven't hurt me yet. And I'm not saying that they won't, but if they do, that's my own fault. Now, I will say this: if old Tex goes missing and they find me and they try to write it up as a bear encounter, ain't no place where I go. Well, ain't no bear encounter. Or bear attack.
You were taken out by Dogman.
That's a possibility.
Could happen. Well, I hope it doesn't. Definitely.
No.
I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thanks to Mary Waters for that, and Murray. Thank you very much. I've lost you, but I appreciate that as always. Yeah, somebody, is it Ruger? No, it's not Patrick. I wanted to go back to Patrick's comment. Patrick Vaughan. Where is it?
I don't know.
I don't. So, and Paris, I wanted to say thank you to you. I had to go back to get that. He was saying basically what we were saying, that aggressiveness is not necessarily... that their actions isn't. Oh, I can't remember. I'm tired. Here we go.
Aggressive doesn't mean violent.
And that also as well. Yeah, that also as well. My little dog can do that. My little dog, if a dog comes up to it and annoys her, she gets aggressive. She shows her teeth. She growls, but she's not going to attack them. Well, she will eventually if they keep on, but she's a warner. And sorry, Rob.
No, that's quite all right. And you're still getting all these great people here. Charles has sent you 1999. That's awesome.
Just blown away by these super chats. This is like incredible tonight. Thank you so much, everyone. This is a way to celebrate 3K.
Mm-hmm. You got a great audience, and I tell you what, I hope
audience.
Yeah, and I hope that they will come over and give us a chance too, because we got some great people coming up.
Definitely, everyone, go and check out Tex and Rob and Jason. I'm going to just put the link again in the description for you. It's in the description, sorry, but I've just put it in the chat for everyone to go over and see what they do. I really enjoy him. Tex is a great way of keeping his audience engaged. Rob too, and Jason, they make a great team. There's a bit of variety up there as well, which makes it interesting. It's not just Bigfoot. There's other stuff going on there. And go and check it out and see what you think.
Rob, can you tell everybody who we got coming up the 15th? Or can we
that is confirmed. April 15th, we're going to have the legendary Ron Moorhead.
Oh, wow.
On Brunch with Bigfoot, 12 Central. Come check us out.
Yep.
Check out our archives, too, because we've had a lot of great guests. We've had Duke Sullivan. We've had Danielle on there. We've had a lot of great guests on Brunch with Bigfoot and TRINITY and, Texas show with Jason, too. But we've hit it pretty good with about 4 or 5 people everyone knows. So check out the archives.
Yeah, we've got on the front porch, we've had Cliff Barack, and we've had Ken Gerhardt and
look at you name dropping.
Lyle and Kerry a couple of times.
Yeah.
Wow.
You've been there.
Get the big dogs on.
What the Paranormal's been there.
Yeah, had some great guests.
We're not taking any prisoners.
We actually had Dick Cundiff on.
Yeah.
You did, yeah, you did. You've done really well for those guests, getting those guests on.
Well, I got to tell you, I'll give credit where credit is due. It wasn't this boy here that brought most of them in. It was this one right here, and then Jason.
They do all the work. You just sit there, look pretty.
Well, looking pretty.
Jason looks pretty.
Yeah, Jason's job. If you don't believe him, ask him. He'll tell you.
Let's get it right. Let's get it right.
I told Tex he's the star though. We're just a supporting cast.
Yeah, right.
Oh, he's definitely the star of the show.
Now we've got a multi-published author, and okay.
Hello, Mike Kirkpatrick. Not seen you in a long time. I hope you're doing all right. Captain B, how are you doing? He's had rocks and small coconuts thrown at him, but never hit him. I'm hoping to talk to Captain B soon, because he's going to be an interesting guy to talk to. He's down in Florida as well. Some of you guys have been asking me some questions that I can't get round to answering, but I think I'm going to do a live questions and answers one night after the expedition, because I've got another 4 nights to go, and I'm probably going to have to sleep for a week to catch up with everything. But I'm going to do that. I'll come on one night, and you can ask me some questions, whatever you want. And I know there's been a lot in there tonight, and I'm sorry I can't get round to them all, but there's just too much for me to do and talk to my wonderful guests. But we've gone over the hour.
Yes, we have.
It must have been interesting for me to keep you on an extra 12 minutes. No, I'm only joking. But you are. No, I do love talking to you, Tex. You know that. And you, Rob.
Thank you.
Of course, we will do it again at some point. So everyone go out and check out Tex's channel. The link again is in the description. You've got a show up Monday night, tomorrow night?
Yep. We've got actually it's the second part of what was last week with Gary Spikes Jr. So
cool.
Yeah, and then the 5th we've got Leon on.
So, right. So you got a couple of good weeks.
Yes, definitely.
Going on. All right. Well, I look forward to that. And everyone else, I don't know what you're doing after the show, but I'm just going to put a link up to Zach's channel, Rooted Expedition. He's got a live show going on pretty soon called The After Party. He was on last night. A great guy. Came on with towards the end, when I had Rochelle G on, and most of you know him anyway. So go and check out his channel as well. Thank you once again. All those super chats, I've never had so many before like that. So I'm a bit overwhelmed.
That was sweet.
It was, and so thankful to you all for being here and supporting me. And I'm gonna, I've got lots of good things in the pipeline for this channel, and stay tuned because I'm gonna keep it interesting for you all. Once again, Tex, Rob, thank you so much.
And congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Well
Everyone, thanks. Everyone, have a good night, and I will see you here tomorrow night, same time, same place, for another update, day 5 on the 168-hour expedition for Bigfoot Odyssey. It's exciting, and I can't wait to see you all then. All right, everyone, good night.